This video is brought to you by All Nurses. All of the opinions expressed here are my own. Hi guys, welcome to All Nurses. My name is Caroline. I'm from the YouTube channel EmpowerIn, and today I wanted to do a video on how I do my New Year's goal planning. With 2017 right around the corner, I think it's really important for us to take a moment and pause and reflect on how 2016 was. So one of the first things that I do is I write down what I'm extremely grateful for that happened in 2016 or the year prior. The next thing that I do is for some reason, whenever I'm doing like planning, I have to have like a clear mind. And in order for me to have a clear mind, my surroundings have to be pretty much like very clean and perfect. So I do spring cleaning, and I call it spring cleaning, but I basically just clean everything. I make sure all the shelves, all the drawers, everything is like in tip-top shape and looks and feels amazing. And what this does, it just helps me, calibrate how much like stuff I've accumulated, get rid of a lot of things. It just kind of puts me in like a really good mindset. So obviously this can take some time. It usually takes me like 4 to 6 hours to do this. So you might want to do this before you sit down to do your New Year's planning, because it's going to take you some time to do that. The next thing that I do is I know for myself, I do this every 3 months. Planning is just part of my routine, and in that routine I also plan about quarterly. That includes cleaning out, spring cleaning. I don't like to keep a lot of things, so I'm not a hoarder by any stretch of the imagination, so that helps because usually my cleaning doesn't take that long. So since I'm doing it 4 times a year, it's easier for me to keep track of those goals, the progress that I've made or the progress that I haven't made, if a goal needs to be eliminated or changed or modified or anything like that. So one thing that I want to share with you that has helped me a lot is a book from Tony Robbins. It's called Awaken the Giant Within. Amazing book. But in the first chapter of the book, there's a sentence that he says that really stuck with me. And it is, people overestimate what they can accomplish in a year and they underestimate what they can accomplish in a decade. Sometimes, just to be a little bit more level-headed, I'll write that down on the top of my paper where I'm doing my planning, just to help remind me it's a year, it's 365 days, it goes like this, it's really quick. What can I possibly do in this amount of time? And then what if I expand that to 5 years, and what if I expand that to 10 years? So there was actually a study done, and I forgot which book this was in, but it basically determined that one thing that helps people succeed in the long term is long-term vision. If you're only making daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, then over a long period of time, you'll probably accomplish a lot less than the person that's planning those small goals while also planning what they want to see in 5 years or 10 years or in 20 years. So having that in mind really helps me understand what this New Year's planning is going to entail, because I'm not just planning for this year, I'm planning for the rest of my life. Okay, so now we've been grateful, our house is clean, and we're in the right mindset. Now it's time to write a list. So what my list entails is basically a list of things that I want to see change or things that I want to see progression in. And what I like to do is I like to be really easy on myself. I like to, let's say last year I wanted to finish one of my books. And so I knew that really it was going to probably take me a month to finish that book. But because I wanted to be easy on myself, I wanted to give myself a 3-month deadline. That way, when I checked off that it was done, I felt incredibly accomplished. So playing these little mind tricks on yourself can help you just feel better, and when you feel better, you'll probably tend to do better. So my goals essentially for the New Year's are going to look something like this: 1-month goals, 3-month goals, 6-month goals, and 1-year goals. And so after I have a list of my goals, then I separate them into where I think that they should go. Now, I do have to admit I'm very personal about my goals. I think everybody's different. Like some people say you should make your goals or resolutions and tell the world. For me personally, I've tried that and it doesn't feel right. What feels right for me is making my goals, and then when they're about 90% accomplished, then I tell everybody, because in that way I know more of, what I'm trying to do anyways. So, because sometimes there's you start doing something and you have all sorts of different discoveries along the way, and you're like, oh, I actually don't want it to be exactly like this, I want it to be like this. So for me, until it's about 90% done, I don't share with anybody. You do what's best for you in that area, but that's what I do. Now, one thing that I do is, since I plan so much and I'm a little bit dorky, I actually create my own journals. There's a lot of services that help you do that, but basically it looks just like a book, just like a journal, and I write things on it that make me feel better, like driven life, focus on outcomes, things like that. All throughout it, I write little quotes that I like. So this is time consuming and a little bit tedious, but for me, I really like it. It makes me feel really good. And it's something that I look at every day. And so every day I'm looking at my goals. Every day I'm writing in this little journal, and it helps me stay kind of level-headed and know, where I'm going and what I'm doing and all that kind of good stuff. So you don't need to do that. You can just get out a piece of paper and write down your goals and maybe put it on your bathroom mirror where you look, or just put it somewhere where you're going to see it every day. The last tidbit piece of advice that I want to give you is, in our society, we're so used to things getting done and being accomplished so fast. So when I feel frustrated or like things just aren't working out, I love to go out in nature and look at plants. It's something so simple, but I love doing it because it just reminds me, you know what? In nature, nothing happens instantaneously. And neither in our life does anything really happen instantaneously. It just feels a lot of times like it's instantaneous. But nothing really does. And so when you can be driven and patient, that's when real things happen. That's when real magic happens. So we want to get to that place. So if you're having a hard day, just go outside, get into nature. So all right, guys, I really hope you like these New Year's goal planning tips. Do you guys have any tips on New Year's planning that you would like to share? I'd love to hear it. If you do, post a comment below, and I can't wait to hear from you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.